All right, you guys, happy Thursday night. I'm so excited to be coming to you and talking to you about something that really has changed the game for me in this business, as far as I'm just doing something different, and streamlining kind of my process to how I get customers and do business. And I got the idea for some of what I'm going to talk to you about from another company, from a friend who's in another company. And I thought, you know what, I could utilize that. It's how I ordered my products from her, and how she runs her business as far as creating plans. And I thought, you know what, I could modify that and make that into something that I do as well. And it's actually working really well for me, and I like it a lot. And it's kind of already how I do business anyway. So what we're going to do is go over Google Forms. And so what I have people, they're like, what is a Google form? And so if you go to, I got to share here. If you go to your main Google screen, so if you use Google as your browser, over here to the right by your picture from your Google account is where the Google apps are, okay? So we submit our host-to-post lists in Google spreadsheets and sheets. And so this is actually in Forms. And so you can also get here by typing into any web browser Google Forms, and it will pop up. So here's my main form page. If you don't have any forms already created, this will be a blank slate down here. Up top, you will see that there's already like templates of things that you can already use. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. You can just add to it. So typically when I'm creating a form, I go ahead and open up a new form. I do the contact information one because usually I'm collecting information. And I'll use this form. It'll pop up right here. It's already got a template of where it kind of guides you, where it says form information, has name, email, address, phone number, comments. And from here, I will start editing my form and creating my form based on what I want to do. Okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to work on this form together, but I'm going to back out and just kind of show you a few different forms that I do use on a regular basis. I have my social media influencer form. So if you see like on my stories, I use these a lot because these are links that you can put into your stories under the link in Instagram. You could also put these links in your comments underneath your post. So if you're talking about the business or maybe you're talking about a custom weight loss plan, you can link these forms underneath your actual post, and then people can click on these links and be able to fill out this information. And so this is just a social media influencer application, gives me some basic info about them, lets me know like why are they interested in this, how much time are they willing. I go ahead and put on here, do you have $149 readily available to start the business? If not, would they be willing to split it up into 4 equal payments with Klarna? And this just kind of gives me basic information about them. And then I reach out to them, already kind of knowing who they are. I have their specific contact info. I know their why as to why they're wanting to join this business. And then they've already kind of let me know whether they can do the fee, and that's up front that I'm telling them about in my form. And so I'll use this quite a lot. And then I do all my ordering with order forms. I have a new customer order form and a new partner order form, and I'm just going to pop these open. Just like a lot of people send links, and that's great to send links. So this is just another way to be able to streamline the process. When they say that they're ready to order, I actually just voice message them and be like, hey girl, awesome, I'm so excited to get you started. I'm going to send you my order form. Just fill it out. Let me know when you filled it out, and then we'll get these products sent to you and get you started on your weight loss journey. And so I just make it real simple and then send them this order form. It has everything in it that we need to be able to submit the info on there for them. And then I'll delete this. And how you do that, see how it has responses right here. This is my new LC that I just got yesterday. And you can actually just go over here to where it says individual. And it breaks up, because sometimes if you have more than one in here, it goes to individual and it breaks up just that person's information. And I am going to just click over here and then delete this response because I'm already done with her. I'm going to just quickly show you my new partner order form, and this is just for my distributors. And again, just putting this the information on to be able to get their distributor account created, their social security number. Anytime that I'm creating a account for somebody with a password or a new partner form, I always use their last name. If you're wondering, well, you don't know what their password is, I always use their last name as their password. And then I've been using this customized weight loss plan. I kind of want to touch on this. I touched on it a little bit last week, using it in my links, using it in my comments, and basically just breaking down the questions that we ask. I have a before and after picture of myself because I like to share my end results. I feel like that speaks to people. But what I like about this form is it's asking those questions that we're already asking. So it doesn't matter what product I'm talking about, whether it's a gummy host post or whatever, I'm sending them that question that says, hey, so excited. Thanks for commenting on the post that Dee did for me. Here's some, I asked him questions. So can you tell me how much weight you're wanting to lose? Do you feel bloated or fatigued? Do you drink coffee? We ask these questions when we start the conversation. They answer it with me, and then we give them a product plan based off of that. Okay, and so all I'm doing in this form is asking those same questions. What's your biggest? What are your eating habits? What's your biggest obstacle with weight loss? Give them the bloated or the fatigued. Do they drink coffee? Do we need to avoid caffeine? Because it gives us an idea of whether we need to avoid caffeine. How active are they? Because if they're not active at all, they don't need to be taking TFX. Where they found me so that I can go find them, because sometimes what I'm finding is that they're sending these to me and I don't necessarily know who they are as far as like what social media platform they are on. And from this, I'm recommending packs. And so most of the packs I'm recommending, because I'm just a true believer in coffee, because that's my own results, is if they drink coffee, they're getting a coffee gummies cleanse pack, which right now it's like $132 with the pick 3 for $92. And then if they don't drink coffee, and I am doing the slimming system, which is TFX with 2 bottles of gummies, which is $89. And if they need to avoid caffeine, we have a 14 Easy Slim that is caffeine free. So it's the smoothie, the cleanse, and the gummies, which is caffeine free. And so those are the 3 packs that I'm offering based on their questions to me, and even based on the questions that I'm presenting to them in our beginning conversation if they aren't filling out a form. So I'm going to go back to this main contact form. Okay, and so you kind of say we don't like this information that's on here. Number one, we need to name this form. Up here in this left corner over here, this is what people see when they get the form sent to them. And so we want it to be something that is, something that they recognize. So if it's weight loss form, if it's an order form, I'm just going to put order form on here. This is what is going to be our name, and this is what is going to be what they see when we send the link. Okay. And then I'm going to just kind of repeat that here up at the front, this top, and we're going to just put order form. Now, here's the nice thing over here to the left is in this box, a menu. Every box you go to has a menu that pops up over here to the right, okay? Anything in here is customizable. So say we want to change our, it says add a title. Say we want to add an image, add a video. We can add it into this area. Right below it. So even if, and I do this a lot because I always click the plus sign in the wrong place, you can drag these at the dots right here. You can drag these wherever you want them to go, so they can be moved around. So say you don't have like the order that you're in. So we can, I'm just going to change this title to email. Oh, Lord. There's a lot of trial and error. I'm going to delete this because I'm going to go back up here to this. Okay, so in my form description, I am going to just give a brief description of something. So usually I just kind of share my heart. You know, I am so excited to be starting this journey with you. Sorry, I'm not a good typer here. I can't wait to see your own before and afters. And then I'll put Mel. You can edit. I'm going to come up here and customize this for a second. So you can customize your theme. You have theme options over here. You can change the color. And this changes the form color. I've got purple, I've got orange. It just kind of changes the background of the color. This right here is a stock image, okay? So we can click on this image uploaded and change it to something else. We can change it to jelly beans. You can, like on my forms, you see that I have a picture uploaded. So say you want to upload your own picture. I'm going to just browse my files. I have no clue what I have on here, so beware. Let's see here. Here's an image of, oh, those are like pictures of my licenses. Let's see here. Here's a good one. Here's one of me and Mel. We're just going to do that. So now you have our eyes staring at you. From the top of the form. So you can upload an image. So how I do that, if you, just in case you don't know how to do that, you just email the image to yourself, you save the image and download it to your phone, and then you can upload it into your form, okay? So another thing that I did is I added a image into my form, like my before and after. Again, we're just gonna browse and look through my images. I'm gonna add, I don't know what this is, but we'll just throw it in here. The back of my driver's license. Okay, so we'll just say here is my very own before and after. And so I've got that they need to fill the form out. I put my before and after here, and then I'm going to put in here and include the things that we need to be including, okay? So when it says name, these are all customizable. So I still need their name, but we want their legal first and last. It would be a short answer. Same thing with email. That's address. I put on here street, city, state, and zip. Because some people, because like even with this up here, people still send me just their street address. Here's a fun one that I did this week. That was a you can do multiple choice answers. So say, do you drink coffee? I'm going to add option 1, yes. Option 2, I'm just clicking on these, no. Option 3, sometimes. Now here on these forms, it has boxes that's required. So I always mark things as required, which means they can't submit the form without their information. Another cool feature, I'm adding another form. Another one I did this week was check boxes. It's kind of the same thing as the multiple choice, but here's another one, a multiple choice grid. So what time is good to call you? So I could put on here Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm just giving you guys an idea of what some things you can do. Okay, I'm gonna put 8 p.m. And all I'm doing is clicking on the next space. Clicking that I want a response. And I'm going to pull out of this so that you guys can kind of see what we've saved. So we already have, you can see right here, we have our name as order form, what we made it. Okay, we can see a preview of what our form is. Here's what it's looking like. We've got our picture, we've got the order form, we've got my very own before and after. We have legal first name, email address. We have that breakdown of that time slot of what's a good time for me to call them. Do I drink coffee? And so just you got these different options. I'm going to kind of go over here. Another thing that you can do, I'm just touching back on the theme. Okay, so we've already kind of picked this cool pink red theme. You can change your font. This is something Mel's really good at. I usually just keep it pretty basic, but you can change all your fonts to be, you know, different things. Like here's this playful font. See how it just kind of makes it look a little, you know, more bougie. And so that's kind of fun. You can play with. Here, the eye, it just gives you a preview of your form. And so like if you're wondering how it looks to people when they open it, you can kind of look and see how your form looks if you're happy with the way it looks. Now I need to go back here. Okay. One thing I did is like I sent this to my email to myself so that I can have the link, and then I just saved it in my notes in my phone. And so you can do so many different things with this. Like I said, I have the application. I used it for my newbies to like see when people were going to be able to attend launch week this week. And kind of talk to them about like times so that I could check in with the newbies and just see, you know, how the trainings are going. Has the launch week info in here and the times that it is at. So I sent that this week. And then you can see like, and I'm just going to show you when you have responses, you want to, in your settings, I'm going to just come over here. You want to be able to have it emailed to you, okay? And you also want to limit it to one response. You don't want them to be able to come in and out of your site. And then you can kind of see how when you have more than one response in here, it titles it, not titles it, but it like makes a little grid as to how people are answering. I typically don't pay attention to the screen. I again will just go to the individual one and then use the arrow here where it says 1 and 2 and go back and forth between those. Over here where it says under the response area, there's these 3 dots that are right here. You want to make sure that you click get email notifications for new responses, okay? Because if you don't click that on your form, you won't get an email and you won't notify. So then all of a sudden you'll be like, well, crap, I didn't realize that they had filled this form out because they didn't text you or let you know. All right. So I am back. Okay, I'm just now coming back to the chat. Can I message you that influencer form, please? Yes. Let me just send it to my email real quick because I don't think I have that link readily available. Okay. All right. Yeah. She said Mel is being so professional. Well, I'm like, I never do Zooms like this. I'm like,
I thought you would appreciate that comment from me.
Yes, Mel always makes hers look really pretty. I keep mine really basic, and then I see hers, and I'm like, shoot, yours is so good. I don't think you have to agree. Let me okay. So anyway, you guys, yeah, do any of you have questions? I know that the three of you do your forms all the time. I don't know if I even showed you anything new tonight, but do you have any questions about anything that I showed you or that you want me to expand on?
Can you show me how to save them to my drive so that they'll show up on my phone? Can you hear me? Hello?
All right, you guys.
I can hear you, but I don't think she did. Mel,
Hold on a second. Let me stop sharing real quick. Okay, now try.
Mel, can you hear me now?
All right, I can hear. Try again.
Can you hear me now?
Huh, yes.
I'm sitting here talking to you and I'm like, why is she ignoring me?
Mel
never ignores me. Why is she ignoring me?
I can hear you now. I don't know if it was the share screen or what. Okay, shoot.
Okay, so I like to pull up my forms after I've had them made on my Google Drive on my phone. But I'm having a hard time with the last form that I just made on my computer, getting it to transfer over to my drive on my phone.
See, this is where I don't use the drive on my phone. I kind of talked to Mel about this earlier. I guess it was yesterday when we were talking about doing the Zoom. I just do everything from my computer, and the reason, and then I save the links in my notes. And so I don't have to rely on the app, because I feel like sometimes the app doesn't show me, or the drive doesn't show me things correctly or the right way, and I can't edit the things that I want to be able to do. And that's just been my experience. I know Mel was having trouble with that yesterday too.
Okay.
So I make all my forms on the computer, and then I'll actually, like, I just emailed it to myself, and then I'll hold down and copy and paste the form into my notes.
Okay.
And then that way I'm just sending it that way, but I'm not I can open the form, like in my email. If I get an email saying that I have a form, I can open it on my phone and be able to see it and look through it and quickly respond to those people.
Okay.
But any kind of like editing, or if I'm like trying to delete anything or do anything, I'm having to do it from my computer. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't know whether it's just a view only. I'm not sure why, but that's kind of been my get around.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
How many centimeters are there? Oh, sorry.
Bridget, did you have a question?
No.
About his homework.
Yeah, Will's talking about his homework that he finished.
Gotta love it.
That's why I said, oh, sorry, because I forgot I was unmuted.
No, it's fine. It's really fine.
No, but I do them all on my phone and save them on my drive on my phone, and I can edit on my phone. But
I've heard people have fun with it. I've just not had good success with it. So
because my Mac is like a 2010, so it's like it's not gonna last much longer. I feel it's on its last leg. So sometimes I can create stuff like I was just working now, all of a sudden it's on 4% and it's going to die and it's on the charger.
Right.
So I rather rely on my phone because.
Absolutely. And if it works, then do it. I just haven't had good experience with it. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to make it as simple and easy for myself as possible. And that's just kind of the system that I've done and worked, and, kind of cheated around, I guess, is the right way to work around.
So how many meters do we?
Okay, so I used my weight loss journey form for the first time the other day.
Good.
And I had a couple people fill it out. But then once I gave them the suggestions that I wanted to, they both were like, I don't have the money.
No, absolutely.
Suggestions on how to handle that?
It's just like, you got to treat this like a first inquiry response. You know, just like, say you were messaging somebody in the stories and you said, hey, thanks for viewing my stories. Do you want some info on gummies? And they say yes. And then they don't ever answer you back again. Okay, it's the same thing. Like that's what's been happening with my Google Forms too, is like I'm sending out recommendations and I'm not getting any response back, or I can't afford that right now, or my car just broke down, or whatever you hear, like my dog just one of the ones that filled out my form, just my dog fell off the bed and broke his leg. I mean, like, and I'm like, okay. I really don't have any advice for that, because it's just that first contact. So now they know what pricing is. Now they can determine whether they can budget for it or they can buy it, or they just have to pull the trigger, and it makes them nervous because of the cost. I have been coming back and rounding back with them though, especially if they say they can't afford it. I just let them know that all packs are customizable, and that we can take away, we can add, we can start small, and we can always add more in. And so what I'll do then is just say, would you like a breakdown of what the pricing is individually for the pack? And then just to carry on that conversation. And so then I'll send them that gummies are $40.95 or 2 for $71, and I'll break down the coffee. And then you can see they'll see where bundling it together is cheaper than buying it individually. And so it just gets them thinking. It gets that conversation still rolling. But even still, it's going to take that time for them multiple times over and over and over again for them to see it, just like they were probably just curious what in the world you would suggest for them. And then now they have to think about it.
Okay.
And then they're going to look at themselves in their Easter dress on next Sunday and be devastated, because they aren't happy with what they look like, or they had to go to the store and buy a bigger size dress, or whatever it is, because we all have those trigger moments in our life. I remember mine when I started this journey. I remember a picture of me standing between my girls at a pageant and not even recognizing myself, like shocked at who was standing between them. And like that was a pivotal moment for me, because weight loss is a mindset. Like everybody wants to buy the products and spend the money, but when you're actually out, you hit that moment of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I know this girl's having success, and I know that she recommended this plan for me, and she's had personal success with it. And I'm going to reach back out to her, or the next time she messages me, it's going to be a God thing, because I do believe that sometimes, like, we message them at the most random times, and it's like been after a crisis moment of their own, so I just treat it the same. I try not to get discouraged about it, because it's just that first point of contact. Sometimes, it takes 7 contacts before they actually, pull the trigger. But
how much time would you allow for follow-up before you'd follow up with them?
So if you message them today, I would message them tomorrow. I'm big on day after follow-up. I'm just being honest with you, mostly because I'm not I don't keep good track of people. And so I just go back through my messenger at the day before. I follow up with everybody from the day before, and then I go back again the next week. I follow up with everybody for the next Friday. But I'd follow up the next day, and I say, I know, I am not organized. I'm just being honest. It's not my gift. But for just like me either. But I will follow up the next day, and that's why if the conversation broke off, I will just say, hey, girl, I'm just reaching back out. What did you think of this plan? I just want to let you know that all of these are customizable. We can add, take away, what your favorites are. Here's a breakdown of the individual pricing. I'm actually working on orders today. Would you like me to get something in for you?
Okay.
And just kind of like, spin it, throw it out there, throw it all together, and then I'll follow up again the next Friday, depending on what they say.
Being organized is one of the things that Bridget and I are both working on this year together. So that was the reason she threw the book up there.
No, listen, there are a lot of, you hear them on the Zooms, the top leader Zooms and stuff. I mean, some people are just super organized. They write down everything. I unfortunately have a life, and as do you guys, where I'm on the go a lot. And so I'm not sitting at a desk beside a notebook or an iPad to be able to write everything down into a tracker and do all these things. I just don't. So I use the calendar on my phone to remind myself to follow up with people, and because it's with me all the time. And I may throw a note to remind me to do something, but I have yet to find a system because I can't open a note and write every single person I talk to in a day. I can't open a note in my phone when I'm mass sending 50 host to post messages in the Starbucks line today to try to get my 50 host to post messages out, and I'm sending 30, praying Facebook doesn't block me as I'm copying and pasting real quick in the Starbucks line. People literally write down every person they send a host to post ask to. There are people that do that. Every person they send a host post ask to, and then they highlight them when they post for them. I ain't got time for that. I don't got time. I'm literally copying and pasting as fast as my little fingers will fly as I'm waiting to get my drink and my egg bites. And so I don't have time to track that way. But I've been successful without doing that. Like maybe I'd be a little bit more successful if I was a little more organized and tracking. But I don't stress out about that because what I'm doing works for me. And I'm just keep trucking along and trying to organize myself the best. But when we're watching these top leaders on these Zooms, this is their full-time job. They sit at a desk for office hours, and they have beside them a tracker and a computer and highlighters and cute pens and a beautiful desk of things. That is not my life, and it's not all of our lives. We're fitting it in to or in between. Ashley, you said I've been getting rough messages this week of people getting angry that I friend requested them. Girl, that's when you need delete. You didn't want to be their friend anyway. I would say I would get just real good at doing friend requests if you're asking for host to post, you're friend requesting them, they should recognize your name just from the fact that it was in that host to post. And then I'm friend requesting just people that I have lots of mutual friends with. Those people are less likely to get angry. And if they say, I've had a couple come back and say, do I know you? And I'm like, and I'll respond back with something vague. Well, you look really familiar to me, and it looks like we have some mutual friends in common. Where do you go to church? I throw it back on them. I try to spin it and get them talking, but I ignore that crap. We do not have enough time for negativity in our lives, and what can happen is we can get drugged down by those people's negativity. And I truly believe the devil uses stuff like that to just discourage us in our business and in our minds. And I just delete and move on, and I could care less. I really could care less. Because if they're going to be rude, number one, most people are kind. In general, when you friend them on social media and do this, that is not somebody that you need to be friends with. You do not want to be friends with, and you don't want to be looking at their social media either.
No, those people like that, you want to just block them right away. But Mel, one of the trainings that I was listening to one day that Tracy Rose did, where she said, if people say, do I know you, or something like that, she'd be like, oh, I must have hit your name on accident. She goes, well, my name's Tracy, and it's really nice to meet you, just to throw them off of the whole do I know you crap.
And that's where that's why I try to spin it back too. I don't try to fumble around or whatever. I'm just I'll be like, you look really familiar. What church do you go to? I go to this church or whatever. And just kind of just try to start a conversation. I like that idea. I accidentally hit it. I must accidentally hit it. That's a great way to kind of get it. Here's the deal. That happens one out of every 500 friend requests I send out. I'm just being honest. It doesn't happen very often. That's some rude crap right there that you do not want on your page or ever dealing with.
Ashley, if people are cursing at you, you block them right away. You don't need any of that in this right now. And feel free to reach out to any of us, because we totally would help you with any how to say things to people and things like that. But blocking people, I've blocked so many people in my last year being in this business, because negativity is not anything that any of us need.
Agree. And here's the deal too. I had a conversation with somebody on our team this week who sent me a message, and she asked for a response back, and it was somebody who was basically cussing her out because we use Tester a lot, and we're getting testers, and she was like, well, why isn't this free? And like literally, and she messaged me and she said, I don't even know how to answer this, because this is how this girl reacts every time I talk to her. I said, you mean you've had more than one conversation with this person, and she's acted like this before? And she was like, yeah, she always responds on every product I have that I do a tester for. And she always asks the same way. I said, you need to delete this girl. I said, you do not need to be having these conversations. I said, this girl is never going to buy from you. Never. And I said, and she's nasty. I said, here's the deal. If she did buy from you, she's not going to be happy. Like there are just some people that even if they do buy from you, it's not a win for you. You are not winning. You are not winning, because if they're nasty before they buy from you, they sure as heck are going to be nasty after they buy from you. And I'm here to help people. I'm here to help people. I don't claim to be a miracle worker. I put in work on the back end with these products. They are helpers. Okay. And so those are the people that are just make customer service not fun. I'm just being honest, because that's what this is. Service. If you've ever worked in retail or ever been out in the public, that dealing with people can sometimes be nasty, and that Ashley is a pure example. And yes, Bridget, when you use volunteer, it attracts the free seekers. Yes, it does. And so I don't use volunteer much. I do use Tester a lot, because and I make sure in my wording it says discounted product Tester, and just let people know you're getting my warehouse price for honest feedback. And so anyway, you got on your scale and you've lost 14 pounds. Ashley, that's insane. Congratulations. That's insane. That is so insane. So proud of you. These products work, you guys. It's just a freaking fact. And Ashley's mom is freaking killing it and losing weight. And so that's huge. That's exciting and something to celebrate. Shout it loud, friend. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off of here, and I'll share this here in a couple of days on the recording link. But thanks for hopping on. I love you guys. And Ashley, you can catch how to make a Google form. I'll share the recording and you can kind of watch it back and play with it. Let me know if you have any questions. Love you guys.